Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to my interview with Icesis Couture and Velvet Code. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you two doing over there? How's the day been?
I'm great, thanks.
See, technology.
Yeah. It's been a busy day. Actually, we had a big snowstorm yesterday, so I was inside making music all day. Today, I just want to, other than this, I'll be going outside.
I know. When I looked out the window yesterday and saw how much snow we had from that blizzard, I was like, oh, hell no. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, no.
Before we start getting into the music and much more, I have to ask Icesis, how are your knees holding up? Everything good?
Everything is good. I literally went from winning the crown to sitting at home. So my knees have been rested. They're great. I'm ready to get back out there and put them in pain again.
Well, I had to ask about them because we definitely saw you moving a lot in the newest music video for your debut single, La Pusetta, which is officially out in the world. Now, we know that, of course, you can sing the house down, but were there any nerves for either of you kind of diving into something new like this and dropping an actual track for you, Icesis?
I never had thought of making music until after I got off the show, because the show did this thing to me where I thought I was a recording artist.
It does for most girls, right?
Yeah. So that's when I resourced out Velvet, and it has just been absolutely amazing. He is so amazing to work with, and I like the fact that I was able to collab and he was willing to listen to what my wants and my ideas were for the song. And he just helped me create my vision. And I think it turned out amazing.
Oh, it did. I mean, Velvet, of course, you produced the single alongside Icesis. So tell me kind of how this friendship initially blossomed. Did you two immediately hit it off? What were your first impressions of one another?
I couldn't stand him.
Yeah. I slapped his face when I first saw him. We hit it off right away. When Icesis reached out, I was so excited to have the opportunity to work with Icesis Couture. And then when I understood what the vision for the song was, I have to admit I was a little nervous because I had no idea that reggaeton would be the style of music that I could do. So I, experimented a bunch, and of course, Icesis had some very specific notes about the drums and everything, but it made me better, and I managed to come out with a great song that we could record to. So I'm really fortunate to have worked with Icesis.
I love how Icesis kind of laughed there when you said had more specifics, because deep down, like, you knew, yeah, I definitely had a lot.
Crack that whip.
Now, there is more music in the works, and I heard that you're working on something for everybody. So there's going to be pop bangers, country hits, some house songs, and of course, we've seen you collaborate with Giants and Drake, both of you. So who would you both love to write a massive hit with, if it could be any artist?
Icesis, I'll let you start.
Who would I want to record with? Probably like Evie Queen. She is one of the original reggaeton artists, and I've just been such a fan of her for so long. Yeah, I definitely would love to do that. And then the typical gay answer, let's say Lady Gaga.
Very fitting. And how about you, Velvet?
I've felt there are a number of artists that I've felt connected to. One is Madonna. I would love to write something with Madonna, work with Madonna. I am working on a cover that she sanctioned for an artist that's connected to her. But working directly with her would be a dream. Troye Sivan and Ollie Alexander are two other artists,
Cool.
in my opinion, gay icons in the pop world.
Yeah, I was able to interview Troye maybe 5 years ago. Like, he was just starting out and whatnot, and he's super talented. So I love that you brought him up. He's definitely underrated, I feel.
Definitely.
Now, the beauty of releasing this song on So Fierce Music is how the company shares support offered to artists who have disadvantaged or have been disadvantaged by mainstream music industry. And it's whether their race, gender, sexual identity. So Velvet, kind of tell me about the startup of that and how important it was for you, Icesis, to want to work with a brand like this.
I started So Fierce Music, during the pandemic. And in fact, I thought about all the artists that I wanted to work with that could use a little bit of knowledge, especially on what not to do in the music industry. Artists like Safonda and Ophelia Manson were two artists I wanted to work with. So I started the label with just the idea of having a small group of artists, and we were just going to help each other and see what would happen. But it became a thing. I had no idea, even through my own experiences, having been disadvantaged for my sexual identity, sexual orientation, that I had no idea that there were many other artists in the world that could use a platform like this. So, the first few months, we were just figuring out how it could work, and it's grown into something, I think, amazing. And, I hope to keep growing it and working with more artists.
Incredible. And Icesis being a part of that, I mean, I'd love to hear, just as soon as you figured out there was a label even doing this, your thoughts on it.
So after I had finished filming Drag Race, I thought I'd love to do music, but I didn't know where to start. So I came across the company Velvet, or So Fierce Music, and the things that the company and him stood for really just like resoned with me, and like my experience on the show. And like, I wouldn't have been able to do music if it wasn't for Velvet and his company, because like, I just don't have access to that kind of stuff. We're in Canada, there's not like, you know what I mean? So like, to have a company like that behind me, and even after working with them, the amount of support, and it's a lovely family and company to be a part. And I'm very grateful.
That's incredible. Honestly, even when I went to Velvet's page, like the last 4 posts weren't even things that he was posting. It was literally your face, Icesis. You could just tell the how proud he is behind the scenes of what you're doing, what you guys have done together. So that's really cool to see. And of course, it does have to be said, congratulations, Icesis, on winning season 2 of Canada's Drag Race. You were not only my #1 choice, but my entire family were rooting for you. So I'm not even joking. When it came down to the final 3, we were just staring at the television like, she better win. Does it still feel a little surreal having brought home that crown?
It literally still hasn't like sunk in yet. Right after winning, we went right into a lockdown. So I have been like trapped in my house ever since I won. So I haven't been out to be able to celebrate my winning or even like receive my crown. But I am just so grateful for the experience to be able to work with people like Velvet and interview with you. Like, it makes me feel like I'm a part of something big, and I'm just grateful.
Aww. You were honestly one of the most humble people to take that crown home. I think that's also why, a lot of people can come off as if they are disingenuous, but you the whole time were just saying it exactly how it was. And I think everyone could see that from the television screens, and even more so now.
Thanks.
Of course. Now, you have been doing drag for about 15 years, showcasing your humor, incredible sense of fashion, and you have this amazing way of combining beauty with weirdness in your drag, which I love. You had some of the coolest gowns to craziest heels. So I have to ask, because I haven't really been able to find this out, but what's packing for weeks of Drag Race actually like?
So when we're getting ready for the show, we get a list of general ideas of what to do, and then you have about a month to prepare for the show. So I literally sat at my table that I'm sitting at right now for 4 days. I drew out ideas, and then I just sewed for 3 weeks straight, and then packed my stuff and left.
How many suitcases was that? Because I imagine even packing my heels would be like 5.
I think I put everything in 5 suitcases.
That's impressive. You had some
I think so too.
And of course, when it does come to drag, one of the most empowering things about it is just watching somebody gain confidence the moment that they put an incredible outfit on or beat their face. So confidence can really be such a fickle thing. So when did you both start kind of doubting yourselves and fully embracing who you were, from successful DJ to Ice Queen drag royalty?
Well, when I started my music career, I remember my first boyfriend, actually, I was singing karaoke, and he pulled me aside after and said, "Oh, honey, you can't sing. Yeah, so don't bother." And I'm like, yeah, so I had doubt right from, an early age of when I came out. But what was ironic was the first time I ever performed live was at something called Pride Ball in Toronto in 2004. Big event, big Pride event on a Saturday night. And I ran into him at a coffee shop the day of the performance. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. And I saw, it was just ironic because he kind of looked at me, he goes, "Congratulations on your gig." And I'm like, "Thank you." But in my mind, I thought, you're the one that told me I couldn't sing. Imagine if I would have listened to you, right? I would never have, and I honestly believe if I would not have tried to become tried singing and being a pop artist, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I mean, ultimately, my destination, was to be a producer, was to be a music label owner and help other artists. But it wouldn't have started if I wouldn't have started off as trying to be an artist on my own. So
Right. Man, screw him. That's so annoying.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who does he think he is? And then
I don't even remember what he looks like anymore. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Icesis?
So for me, like you said, I've been doing drag for 15 years. I've done it my whole entire career in Ottawa. Our scene is very small. The opportunities are few and far in between. So I thought as an adult that my confidence, especially in my drag, was where it needed to be. And then when you have an experience like Drag Race, it really did show me that I was still not confident after 15 years, being 35 years old. But once I let myself go in the experience and they kind of reassured me that it was okay to be myself and my drag was valid, I think more so than winning and everything that's going to come with it, which is absolutely amazing. The biggest thing that I take from Drag Race and this whole experience of doing drag is I truly feel confident in myself, not only as Icesis, but as Steven now because of my experience on Drag Race.
That makes me so bloody happy to hear. I feel like so many people can project as much confidence as humanly possible, but deep down, a lot of people aren't feeling the way they project. So now that lines up for you, like that's so incredible to have had that from that experience. Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you both about today is I think that's something that kind of can bog people down is simply how crazy people can be online. The amount of trolls that I see personally, even every day, is ridiculous. So let's just empower that shit. What's one of the funniest or most bizarre things you have read about yourselves online?
Hey, sis, I'll let you start because I can't
I can
think
see
of
the
anything
wheels.
right now.
I don't know if
Nobody
that face
talks
is like,
about
what
me.
do I choose? Or
it's I don't really receive that much negative or anything crazy.
That's amazing.
In general, the reaction from people have been positive. The only time that I got something was during my Snatch game. People just were not happy about it and they were calling me homophobic, transphobic, racist, and all those kinds of things. So that bothered me a little bit because that's just not what I stand for. But anything crazy, I mean, I think it's crazy when people message me and say you won Drag Race, and I'm like, oh my god, I did.
It's like, please remind me again.
I think for me, I think for me, people that have known me from like years ago, maybe not, they don't really know me actually, but they think they know me. And they saw the way I looked before with shorter hair and more jockish and everything. And they see me with pink hair, they're offended or they don't like it. And they're like, look at you trying to, be 20 years old again. I'm like, damn right. I mean, I'm always, I feel like I'm very youthful and I'd like to continue to be youthful and I'll do everything I can to continue to be youthful.
I'll give you a number to my doctor.
Oh, I'm going to see that doctor on Saturday.
I might hit both of you up in like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so I'm always about just be yourself and be happy and be useful if you want. I tend to continue to be this way. I'm not going to take anybody's criticism, and take it to heart. So.
As we shouldn't. I feel like those are just incredible parting words, really. So Icesis, Velvet, I want to say thank you both so much for coming on here. You are each just kicking ass in both of the worlds, and I love seeing you combined. So it's just really exciting. So again, congratulations on everything, and thank you so much for hopping on today.
Thanks for having us.
Of
Thanks so much for
course.
having us.
To everybody watching, this has been the incredible Icesis Couture and Velvet Code. Be sure to check out aliciatout.com for plenty more exclusive interviews, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.